Welcome to the latest edition of Immunology Updates, covering breakthroughs in the past 2 weeks, brought to you by Lucid Quest. First, Roche reported Phase 3 Majesty success for Gazyva, also marketed as Gazyvaro, in primary membranous nephropathy. In this global study in adults, Mirikizumab, an anti-CD20 antibody, was compared with tacrolimus, with a 2-year readout. Roche said the trial met its primary endpoint, complete remission at 2 years, and safety was consistent with the known profile, with no new safety signals. Next steps will depend on full data disclosure and could shape prescriber and payer decisions. Next, InnoCare announced that the first patient has been dosed in China in a Phase 2/3 trial of soficitinib, also called ICP-332, for chronic spontaneous urticaria. The company describes soficitinib as a selective TYK2 inhibitor. While the release focused on the dosing milestone rather than detailed trial design, it signals ongoing investment in autoimmune dermatology programs and an expanding modality mix. Third, STADA and Bio-Thera said the European Commission granted EU marketing authorization for Gotenfia, BAT2506, a biosimilar to golimumab, marketed as Simponi. Bio-Thera leads development and supply, while STADA will commercialize across the EU, the UK, Switzerland, and selected countries. With launch preparations underway and timing not specified, this approval adds new competition that could affect pricing and formulary access. Fourth, Eli Lilly received regulatory approval in China for Mirikizumab to treat moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. The source described this as Lilly China's first clearance for an innovative medicine in digestive immunity, with launch timing and pricing not disclosed. The approval may influence prescribing patterns and payer reviews as access decisions evolve. Fifth, Novartis said Remibrutinib met the Phase 3 primary endpoint in the REMIND program for chronic inducible urticaria, including symptomatic dermographism, cold urticaria, and cholinergic urticaria. Novartis reported significantly higher complete response rates versus placebo at week 12 and said it submitted a supplemental new drug application to the FDA for symptomatic dermographism. If confirmed by full data, this could broaden options in a high-burden urticaria subset. Sixth, Takeda reported Phase 3 KEPLER pediatric ulcerative colitis data for ENTYVIO, vedolizumab, administered intravenously. KEPLER enrolled patients ages 2 to 17. After open-label induction in 120 patients, 93 responders were randomized to maintenance dosing every 8 weeks. Takeda said the primary endpoint was met, with 47.3% clinical remission at week 54 among randomized patients, and safety generally consistent with adult experience. This readout supports the case for expanding evidence in pediatric inflammatory bowel disease. Seventh, Johnson & Johnson highlighted long-term ulcerative colitis outcomes for TREMFYA, guselkumab, through week 140 in the QUASAR long-term extension, which the company said was presented at ECHO 2026. In adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis, J&J reported 80.8% clinical remission, 53.6% endoscopic remission, and 78.6% histoendoscopic mucosal improvement at week 140, as defined in the release. These durability signals may factor into future positioning and reimbursement discussions. Finally, Savara said the FDA filed the biologics license application for MOLBREEVI in autoimmune pulmonary alveolar proteinosis and granted priority review. Savara reported a PDUFA target action date of August 22, 2026, and referenced plans for EU and UK submissions by the end of Q1 2026. If approved, this could represent an important new option in a rare autoimmune lung disease. Stay ahead in immunology research. Like, share, and subscribe for our updates. Visit lqventures.com or email us at info@lqventures.com for expert healthcare consulting. See you next time.